I'm Jasmine Moyer, and welcome to Sway TV.
Welcome, and to Amazon Live and virtually into our Sway TV studio.
And we're doing Workout Wednesdays here on Amazon Live.
And she is fresh off the set of Shark Tank.
It's such an honor to be here today, so thank you.
We're gonna have some fun on the stream.
We are going to be talking all about parenting.
And it's Brad Grunberg. Hi, Brad. This is a game changer.
There's a Tesla. You can actually buy a car on Amazon. The perfect gift. You guys, get on this now.
Such an amazing Amazon deal.
Yes, we got our Drake's Cake break. So awesome. That was very dramatic.
Thank you. Thank you at Sway TV. Thank you. Oh, Naveen says thank you. This is my first time I'm seeing Amazon Live. This is better than Netflix. Yes! So happy New Year 2021. Let's bring it in with a bang. 2, 1. So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV. We'll see you soon. Until then, let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway!
Let's sway!
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
I would get like the black maybe, I don't know. I'm more of like a black, white, gray kind of girl. So this is the next product I'm gonna share with you. So this is called the Keep Cup, and I am going to pull it up right here so that you can see. But here's what I love about this. Where is it? Here we go. So here's what I love about this. This is a glass mug, and it's got this top. The lid has a little, it swivels so it opens or closes. So it's great for the car, great for transportation. And it has a cork band around it, which if the drink is too hot, it helps. And I think what I actually love the most about this, and here I found it, I'm opening it, here we go. Okay, what I love the most about the Keep Cup, and obviously it's reusable, so we're helping the environment, but it looks so nice, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Check out this beautiful reusable coffee mug. The reason why, I mean, there's just something about like drinking from something that looks really nice, that makes you feel really good. And so when I am holding this in my hands, I feel like I'm not, it just like, it goes beyond just a paper mug or just a random old mug that I would pull out of my cupboard. So I use this whether I'm on the go or whether I'm home. I really love it. And it's one of my favorite things. I got this recently. This was a gift to myself during the holidays because I was researching different mugs and I just love this, the Keep Cup. So Zulay and Keep Cup, thank you so much. We're gonna start the Art of Parenting. Today, again, is Friday. It is January 15th. We're gonna take a big deep breath together and we're gonna settle into the show. And there are so many things that we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee because it's gonna get me through the next 70, 90 minutes or so. That is good. That is really, really good. Hopefully, if you're joining me, you have something as well that you are holding on to, whether it's a cup of coffee, maybe it's a glass of wine, maybe it's apple juice, whatever your pleasure. I hope you're enjoying it. You can join me in the chat and hang out with me and ask me questions. We can talk about parenting. We can talk about the products we're going to talk about. But I'm just so excited that you're with me, that we're here together and we're going to start the weekend together on the art of parenting. So thank you. So let's get started. So I'm going to just put this down and I want to talk about the importance of self-care. Okay, and we're actually going to split the show up today into 3 different segments because when I think about self-care, I think about it in 3 distinct areas. The first is, how am I actually taking care of myself? And that might be in the beauty products that I'm using. How do I relax? How do I give myself time where it's just for myself? It's me time. It's quiet time. It's time where I can be mindful and present in the day and think about where I'm going and what's coming down the pipeline at me, maybe tomorrow or the next week, but really just focus on me, right? So that is not about what's going on externally at all in the environment around me. It's not about my kids. It's not about work. It's not about anything. It is just about my self-care. So then I also think about self-care. So that's going to be segment 1. Segment 2 is I also think about self-care and what are the hacks and things I can do in my home to help me get back to category 1, okay? Because if I'm being honest, and if you're being honest with yourself, we're all trying to squeeze out a little bit more time of relaxation if we can get any at all, and we know that parenting is so hard, and especially now, but even on a good day, and even without COVID in our life, it's really challenging sometimes. And so for that reason alone, there are things that we can do in the home to help mainstream things, to help with cleaning. And I have lots of really great products that I'm going to share with you that I've talked about. Some of them I've talked about in previous shows that where we've been together, and some of them I haven't. I'm going to introduce them today, and I'm super excited to talk about them because they're things that really have helped streamline, whether it's me in the kitchen or organizing my kids. They're little things to give me more time in my day. And let's be honest, time is the one commodity, the singular one thing we all have in common that we cannot get more of. Every one of us, every single person you know, has the exact same 24 hours in a day, 365 days out of the year, unless it's a leap year, of course, but generally speaking. And so it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter how many kids you are. It doesn't matter if you're living in a 1-bedroom apartment or a 10-bedroom home. It doesn't matter if your kids are homeschooling, if they're in school, if they're in public school, if they're in private. Time is the one commodity that we all have in common. We cannot get more of it. So I am constantly looking for ways to figure out how can I eke out even 30 seconds here and a minute there, because then I can put that into category 1, which is taking care of me. And that is really important. So that is going to be segment 2. Then segment 3 is going to be modeling self-care and teaching self-care to our children, because in order for them to understand how important it is and to buy in and respect when I want my me time, they have to also want it. And the only way that happens is if I model it and I teach them why it's important and how to do it and how to get it for themselves. And it is whether you have a 3-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 23-year-old, we have to model self-care and teach our children how to take care of themselves and how to advocate for themselves and how to handle themselves in social situations. And so that is going to be the third part of this show today. So again, I am Marissa Gold. I am with The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live, and I am so excited that you are here with me today on Friday going into this beautiful weekend. If you are joining me, tell me where you are, where in the country you are, or maybe where in the world you are and what the weather is like. I have to tell you, I am sitting in a studio in Los Angeles, and it is no joke, the temperature gauge in my car said 94 degrees. January 15th, people, it should not be 94 degrees anywhere. And I'm like dressing like it's winter. I'm hoping that if I do that maybe I can get the rain because the rain to come, because we need it so desperately. And I love cold weather, and I would really love for some cold weather to come our way. So, but I also recognize how lucky we are and that we do have this beautiful weather, and we're able to be out hiking and go to the beach and do walks and bike rides in the neighborhood. And right now, especially with COVID, there are so many things we can't do. And so it's really nice to be able to go out and do those things. So I'm extraordinarily appreciative that we have this weather right now. But I'm channeling the cold, and I actually think I looked in the forecast, and I think we're supposed to get some rain. So I'm fingers crossed. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do a quick check-in with my producer. Everything okay? Yes. Okay, just checking. Okay, so segment 1 is all about me time and all about self-care for me, or self-care for you, and why that is so unequivocally one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. And I'm going to start off by talking about what we call the oxygen mask analogy. If you have ever been on an airplane, you have heard them say that when the oxygen masks come down, you put it over your face and you make sure that you are okay and that you are covered before you help anyone else. That is because there is one reason for that. If you yourself are not okay, you do not have the energy or the mental and emotional capacity to care for anybody else. You cannot do it. Your nerves will be frayed, you will not have patience, you will not have flexibility, and let's face it, children are demanding of us. They want our time, they want our attention. One child can put 50 to 65 demands on you in a single day. So if you have 2, 3, 4 kids, you're constantly hearing, mommy, I need, mommy, I want, mommy, do this, mommy, I need, mommy, right? It's constant, constant, constant. So if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not practicing self-care, you aren't going to have the patience during the day, the flexibility during the day, the understanding, the grace, the respect, all of the things that we need to get through the day with our children. And that is so important that we have that for our kids. We owe that to our children to be able to be there for them and to be in the moment with them. But if we ourselves are not taking care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to do it. So how do we take care of ourselves? What are some things that we can do? Well, when I am thinking about I think the most important thing is it is not the same for everybody, right? That is the very first thing. It is so important that everybody understands that self-care is different for each and every individual person. So you have to think about, what is it that makes me happy? Well, I will tell you what makes me happy. I love a good book. So this is the Kindle. I read approximately 60 books a year. I love to read, and it is my happy place. I get excited about it. So check this video out.
Meet the all-new Kindle Paperwhite, our thinnest, lightest yet. Now waterproof, with Audible, plus a sleek, modern design and twice the storage. Kindle Paperwhite is purpose-built for daily escapes, so you can read and relax in more places.
sight. The landscape is only leaf-like foothills, roughened here and there with occasional trees.
Okay, so the Kindle. It is waterproof, which means it can go in the bath. And that is a great place to practice some self-care, to just chill out, light a candle, go sit in the bath for a little bit. It also comes with Audible, the new one. So you can put it on next to you if you're lying in bed and listen to it. If you're in the car, you can listen to it. I have probably at this point thousands of books on my Kindle. Okay, here's the funny thing. So when I work with families who have really young kids, and we're talking about sleep, we could do a whole show on sleep, right? So we talk about how your child should have a safety or a comfort object that goes to bed with them. This is my comfort object. I do not leave home without my Kindle. It is always within a foot of my body. It is literally with me all the time. And if I have 5 minutes sitting in the carpool line, obviously there is no carpool line right now, but anytime I would have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, this is where you can find me. And I have, 2 nights ago, I was saying to my girls, I was like, I'm so excited. And they're like, why are you so excited? It was bedtime. And I said, because it's new book night, which means for me, that's when I finished a book and I get to start a new one. And I always have on my Kindle, I always have like 3 to 5 books that are waiting for me to go. So then what I do is I go through and you pull up the book and you can do a quick check of the summary of the book, and then you can decide which one you want to start. So this is my absolute favorite like self-care item, because I get to get lost in a book. And it is so easily transportable. It can go with me everywhere. I will say I do feel a little badly that I'm not reading real books. And so every once in a while I do pick up a book and I do read a real book. But what is so nice about this is how light it is and how I can have so many books with me. And I can't tell you how many times I've been with friends and I have started talking about the books I'm reading, and I can just pull up the book on my Kindle because it is there in the history of what I've read, and I can, underline quotes, and I can bring things up and talk about it with my friends. And so it's really become a part of the way that I socialize as well. So I love, love, love the Kindle, and I'm a big believer, going back to self-care, that you have to find things that are really good for you. So moving on to the next thing that is really something that I could not live without is, I think I might actually use it right now because it's so wonderful. Okay, so this is, I'm going to pull it up here so that you can see it. This is the Shiatsu back and neck massager with heat, deep kneading massage, and it can be used on the neck, the back, the shoulder, foot, and legs. I also use it on the abdomen when I am having severe cramps, and I also have I have pain in my hips from an injury, and I have even been known to put it there. So it's super easy to use, and I'm going to show you this video, and then I'm going to actually demonstrate it. Okay, look, I got it on. I'm loving it. It's so amazing. Now, it makes a teeny tiny bit of noise, but I'm gonna take care of that for you in 1 second. It's not loud at all though. It's just you can hear the kneading, the mechanics of the the balls that are in here that are kneading. It's really strong. It's heated. It doesn't have to be. You can have it not heated if you don't want to. It's so comfortable. I just want to sit like this for the next hour because I feel like I would just come out of this a much happier person. So I highly, highly recommend this. This was given to me as a gift, so thank you so much to the person who got this for me. You know who you are. And I have since given this as a gift to many people because, you know, let's face it, especially right now, you can't get to your, you know, a place where you would get a massage, or if you go see a chiropractor, you may not be able to do that as frequently as you're used to. All of these things are, I feel like we've had to find ways to replicate in our lives some of the things that we used to go out and do. And so this was one of the things, like I didn't have one of these at home until we literally got it. I was gifted this item right at the very beginning of COVID. And I remember just loving it. But then of course it got like, my kids fell in love with it and they took it. So maybe I need a second one for the home. That might be a good idea. But yeah, I think it's an amazing product and I love it. And I think that on those days when, especially if you are sitting in front of the computer on Zoom after Zoom after Zoom, or on the phone and you're not sitting in an ergonomically correct position and you get up and you can feel like the aches and the pains and those kinds of things, you sit with this for like 10 minutes and you just feel so much better. So I really highly encourage, there are lots of these on Amazon, but this is the one that I personally own. I love it. So you can shop it down below in the carousel, you can check it out. But know that all of the things that I'm talking about, I am sharing with you because I love them and they're products that I use and I personally vouch for. So you can shop the show and know that anything that I talk about comes with it comes with my personal recommendation, not just because some company is telling me to talk about it, because I love it and I use it. So so that is the second thing that I do for self-care is I will give myself mini massages. Okay, so then at the end of the day, it's really important to figure out where can you put self-care into your routine. And I think about it, when am I not going to be disturbed? And so that tends to be in the evening when my kids are asleep or close to sleep, but maybe in their rooms relaxing as well, or early in the morning, although I'm honestly not so much of a morning person. So if I'm being totally honest, not really the morning, but at night. And there are different things that I will do to help myself calm down and to really kind of center myself and to practice the mindfulness and the self-care. And there is a lot of research right now that's been coming out for years now around the different senses that we can activate to help us actually calm down. That sounds counterproductive because what I'm telling you to do is to activate a certain sense to calm down the brain. But the reality is that it really does work. And there are two what I'm talking about, there are two primarily. The first one is your sense of smell. If you are smelling something that is calming and soothing, such as a chamomile or lavender, or there are so many scents that are out there. If you have that can be very calming for you. And then the other thing is your hearing, and what are you listening to as far as music, and what are you using to bring down the levels of your brain from being super active and thinking and doing things all day long? How do we bring that down in a very natural way at night? How do we go and transition from being up and awake and playing and being with our kids and cooking and bedtime routine and all of these things and thinking and work and just everything that we have to do, to then getting in our bed and just turning it all off? I don't know about you, but I cannot just turn it all off. It doesn't work for me that way. I need a little bit of help to self-soothe. That's what we call like coming down, the calming down of going from like being up and about all day to being ready to go to bed. So, and this is something, by the way, that if you have kids, it's exactly the same thing. Children have to know how to self-soothe. So this is actually the key to being a really good sleeper, is being able to self-soothe and go from that awake state into that I'm ready for bed and I can fall asleep in a very healthy way state. So again, one of the things that I do in my home is and this is again with self-care, is I activate certain senses, and I'm going to show you specifically what I do. So I'm sure you've all heard of reed diffusers. This is a reed diffuser. And this is just one version. There are so many that you can find. And then the idea is to fill this with an essential oil or something that smells really good. And what I wanted to share with you, the one that I love the most. So here, this is a hack, okay? So LAFCO is absolutely one of my favorite brands. We're gonna show you they have this, they have a candle line. And they have reed diffusers, and they also have, they also have the diffuser refill. So here is your hack. So the reed diffuser made by LAFCO was a little bit more than I personally wanted to spend. However, I wanted the LAFCO, I wanted the essential oils that were made by LAFCO because they smell so good. I think they're some of the best that are out there. So what I did is I purchased that reed diffuser, and then I purchased this LAFCO, I have to cover my face so you can see the product, but I purchased this LAFCO, the oils, and they come in so many different scents. And so of course you have to find what you like. This was, my favorite, it's the celery thyme basil, which is hilarious because I actually hate thyme, like vehemently despise thyme and can smell it a mile away if it's in food. But for some reason in LAFCO, I love it, which is crazy, but I do. So that's a hack. So I have one of these reed diffusers by my bed. And I love it because it makes the area smell really good. And when I get into bed, or whether it's nighttime or if I'm lying down for a nap, which I'll talk about in a second, it's like this sense of calm comes over me because I am smelling something that smells really good and I have some really calm music going. So I have also by my bed, I have this, it's called the Unz Angle speaker, Unz Angle 3. Look at how little this thing is. Look, here you go, check this out. Okay. That's funny. I have seen this video. I looked at it before, but I didn't catch I did not catch before that it was waterproof, which means I can take it into the bathroom when I take a bath. That's very exciting. I don't have to have my phone anywhere near me because one of the things about practicing self-care is to get rid of the technology. You don't want your computer near you. You don't want your phone near you. You don't want a TV near you, unless for some reason watching a television show is the way you're going to practice self-care, which is okay, and you get to do that. But for me, it's reading, it's listening to music, it's smelling something that makes me feel calm, maybe taking a bath or taking a nap. I am someone who has put naps into my daily schedule, and I have people laugh at me all the time for that, but I'm totally okay being judged about that, and I'm not ever going to say that I would not do it because it's so great. So don't forget to be shopping the show, and you can check out this awesome speaker, which is great for listening to music, and you can also check out these, the oils by LAFCO. And also LAFCO also makes, and I showed it for a very split second, but I'm going to show it to you one more time because these happen to be my absolute favorite candles. Yes, they are a little bit more on the expensive side than some other candles, but they last for a very long time. They smell incredible, and the smell travels. So you don't have to light like 4 candles. If you light one, you're gonna smell it around your home or your office, wherever you have it. So I really like those as well. I don't have one here to show you, unfortunately, but I am a big fan of them. Love LAFCO. Okay, so And then the last thing that I want to show you as far as like products that I use for self-care is, or I should say are, because I'm going to show you 2 of them. This is part of the skincare line by Mario Badescu. I don't know if I think I might have mispronounced that, so I apologize if I did, but check this out. Okay, I stopped it because this is the part 1. Yes, the entire line is great. I love Mario Badescu products. I've been using them for many, many, many years. We could actually probably do a whole other show on routine, and if you have, beauty routine, and if you have any questions, please chime in. Keep remembering to shop the show. So this is what I want to share with you right now. So these are the Mario Badescu facial sprays, and there are four different kinds that they have. These are the 2 that I have that I love. My girls use these as well, but they smell so good. And wait, can you see that? It's like rose water. It just smells so good. See, so there's like a theme here. Like, I like the way things smell. They make me feel good. They calm me down. And as I said, it's really good to honor the things that you know are gonna make you happy and are gonna fill you up. So inside, we all have what I like to think of as like a fuel tank. Think of it as like literally like a gas tank, or you could think of it as a battery. And there are things that you can do during the day to charge it up and make it so that there's more, it's gonna work longer and longer and longer. When you practice self-care, what you're doing is refueling that energy, that you're refueling the gas tank or the battery, you're recharging yourself. And when you do that, then you have energy to put out into the world, whether it's with your kids, your significant other, your friends, your family, all different people. If you are not taking care of yourself and you are not refilling the battery, the gas tank, any analogy you want to give it, you're going to run out. And if you're running on empty, you cannot help anyone. So self-care, self-care, self-care. It is so unequivocally one of the most important things. And I hear from moms and dads all the time. They will say to me, I just don't have time. I don't have time for it. Make time. It is the most important gift that you can give yourself, is to make time. Even start with 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes, okay? If you are watching, join me in the chat and tell me what you do for self-care, because I love getting ideas and bringing them into my home. Someone today, this morning I was hosting a talk all about parenting through the pandemic and during, in the age of COVID. And one of the moms shared this awesome idea. She said that she has created with her husband a room in the house that is off limits unless you're in the room. That's where you go for time out, for self-care. And it's only for mom and dad. So either mom is in there or dad is in there, and they're never in there at the same time, because whoever's in there is practicing self-care and getting to just kind of check out, and the other parent is on with the kids. And I love that. I think that is such a good idea, and I love that parent knows, understands, and is giving time back to herself and to her husband as well, because this is not just a mom thing. This is, if you are a parent, if you are a single parent, if you are a parent in, a traditional environment, a non-traditional environment, it does not matter. You need time for yourself. I cannot reinforce this enough to you. It will change the way you are during the day. So those were some of my favorite products for practicing self-care on me, for myself, and ensuring that I am filling up that tank, that internal tank, so that I have the patience, the ability to cope, the ability to be mindful and present and deal with my children and challenge my children and be patient with my children and handle the day with grace and respect. And I will say, I still mess it up. Right? I still mess it up, and that's okay, because it is really hard to be a parent, and we're all going to make mistakes, and we could practice all the self-care in the world, and we would still have moments that are really hard. And when you have that moment that is really hard, I the most important thing that you can do, what I want you to do is to acknowledge that you're having a tough moment and step away from it. Give yourself the breather that you need. And maybe that breather is 5 minutes and maybe it's 50, 5-0, and figure out a way to figure out how to make something like that happen so that you get some distance from whatever is triggering you. And when you're able to go back into the situation, if you yelled at your child, if you did something that you're ashamed of or that you feel badly about, apologize. Apologize. Children don't hear the words "I'm sorry" from their parents enough. And when we say "I'm sorry" to our children, we're giving them yet another gift. We're teaching them that it's A, okay to be wrong, and B, when we are wrong, how do we go about fixing it? What do we do? So as a parent, when you apologize, you're modeling to your child that they don't always have to be right, and if they mess up, it's okay. They can fix it. So when I have a hard day, especially if like there's been a day or two where I haven't been able to practice any self-care, and as a result my tanks are empty and I'm not doing great and my patience is short and I snap at my kids, well, that night at bedtime, you can be sure I'm gonna go to both of them, and at bedtime I'm gonna sit with them at the side of their bed and I'm gonna say to them, "I'm really sorry I lost my temper with you today. That is on me. It wasn't because of you. But let's talk about what happened, what your part was in it, and my part. And I'm owning my piece of it, that I didn't have the energy or the patience to deal with whatever needed to be dealt with in the moment. But now let's talk about your part in it," right? There's always two parts to whatever's happening between, in any given situation. So it's important to honor, to recognize, honor, and deal with in developmentally appropriate ways whatever is happening. But again, when you practice self-care, you fill up that internal tank and you're able to do things in a much more calm way. And you're able to walk through the day more mindfully and more respectfully and gracefully and with calm and intention. And when we have intention, and we've talked about this in previous shows, when we have intention, we can make informed decisions and we can be the best parents possible to our children. And come on, our children deserve really good parents. They deserve us to be our best that we can be for them. That is what they deserve. Okay, so again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. I'm Marissa Gold. This is The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live. We are a weekly show on Fridays where we talk, there is always a parenting topic. Today we are talking all about self-care, and then we tie in products that you can find on Amazon that I love, that I stand by, that I think are worth you spending money on because they will make a difference in your life for the better. And Amazon's amazing. I love Amazon. There are so many products. You type in one thing, you get hundreds and hundreds of responses. Well, that's amazing because you can look at the reviews and you can look and compare, and I'm a huge researcher, so I like to look and see, how many reviews does a product have and what do they look like. But that, reading a review is still really different than a live person saying to you, "I have used this and I love it and it makes my life easier and here's why." And that's what we're doing here today. So I hope that you are enjoying this. I hope that you are checking out the products in the carousel below. Remember to shop the show, check out anything that I'm talking about. And if you have any questions, you can interact with me in the chat. We can talk parenting, we can talk product, we can talk self-care. If you have another parenting question, I work with families who have children from newborn to 16 years old. I like to say at all ages and stages of development. And I focus on 4 specific parenting pillars. Those 4 parenting pillars are emotion coaching, positive discipline, mindfulness, and cognitive or brain development. And I really believe that when you understand those 4 parenting pillars, you can be the best parent possible. So thank you so much for joining me. And we are going to take a very short break, and then we're going to head into segment 2, where we're going to talk about my favorite hacks for cleaning and just organization in the home. And those things actually, they buy you little bits of time kind of all over the place, which then you can put towards self-care for yourself. and really, calming piece of this. So see you in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
All right, great.
How's it going so far?
Good.
Okay.
Why are we breaking?
What?
Why are you breaking?
Because I just needed to regroup for a second.
Regroup.
Okay. So I'm doing, in this segment, I'm doing these. Okay. Okay. What? Yep. Okay, we're back. See, I told you it wasn't going to be that long. I'm glad you stuck around. If you're just joining, I'm Marissa Gold. This is The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live. We're talking today all about self-care. And I am so excited that you're here joining me. You can always reach out to me if you want additional information or want to talk after the show. I can be reached at marissa@intuitparenting.com. And I'm so excited to be here and to be on Sway TV, to be on Amazon Live, to be sharing my tips and my tricks and my hacks. And so that is what this segment is all about. This segment is all about what am I doing in the home to make life a little bit easier. So the first thing that I am going to show you is we opened the show with a Zulai product, and we are going to go back to another Zulai product because I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And wait, where is it? I gotta find it because I have to show you guys this product. It's so fun. Let's see. Okay, here, I'm gonna show you. It is the Zulai portable blender. You shake it, you put the fruit in, and then you turn it on. You don't shake it. You don't really shake it. I mean, you could shake it if you want to. You could shake it. Look, here, you can, it's so portable, you can totally shake it. But I love this product, and I will tell you that we, in my home, make a smoothie every single day. It's either the mid-morning snack or the mid-afternoon snack. It is a great way to get fruits and vegetables into my kids. I'm very blessed. I don't have any problems with them eating fruits and vegetables, but still, this is a great way to get fruits and vegetables into their little tummies. And I also put in yogurt and probiotics and orange juice, which has vitamin C in it, vitamin D. And so it goes right into this blender. It's so portable, and I make it, and then they get it, and they are happy. So this is, and the reason why I love this so much is because you can do this, or you can do one of those really big blenders where you have a ton of cleanup. This is so easy. You pour this, I pour this into a cup for them, and then I rinse it out, and I just stick it, it could not be easier. You cannot get easier than this. So I'm all about ease. I'm all about products with longevity. This is definitely something that I feel like if you make smoothies in your home, even if you use a large blender, which they're great, don't get me wrong, I love them, but you should have this baby in your kitchen also. The other thing that I love about this is, and I have not done this yet because my kids have been out of school, so I haven't had the opportunity to use it this way, but I have this planned that when my kids go back to school, my older daughter is on the tennis team, and often I will, after school, I'll meet her at her matches. And so I can literally now put the stuff in here, and I can bring it and blend it fresh, and then I can give it to her fresh. So it won't, because what I would used to maybe do is I would blend the smoothie and bring it. By the time I got it to her, it had settled and separated and wasn't as good as when it's freshly blended. Look, it's portable. This can go with me right to her tennis matches. How cool is that? And it's really pretty too, right? It's very pretty. So I really like it. So Zulai, I love your kitchen products. I just love them. And I want to thank you for coming up with things to make my life easier. I so appreciate the care and the thought that you have put into your product line, because you have items that are efficient and pretty to look at. They're aesthetically pleasing, as my teen daughter will tell me all the time when something is aesthetically pleasing or not. And so I just really love your products, and this is one of my favorites. So we started the show with the frother. This is in segment 2, and who knows, maybe we'll do another one. You never know. They have other things that I love. I'm just not sure we're gonna talk about all of them today, because I've got to space some of it out. But I'm really a huge fan. So that is something in my kitchen that helps. And my kids, as I said, they love their smoothies, and so that has made smoothie making quite a bit easier. Okay, let's talk, whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. Let's talk about organizing in your home and what are some other things that you can do. And I will share with you a couple of my favorite things specifically that have made my life so much easier. So this is the next one that I'm going to go to. And I talked about this. If you joined us last time, I talked about this. Whoops, that is not what I want. Let's go back to the main. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Okay. Do you see this little beauty? This is part of the OXO Good Grips system. See that? Check it out. Look, pops up, opens up. You can put stuff in it, put it on there. Vacuum sealed for freshness. Check this out. So that was a short video, but the idea, what I wanted you to see was how many different varieties of sizes this comes in. And one of the things that you can do when you're on Amazon is you can actually pick, I think, hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. You can pick either a 10-piece set, a 20-piece set, a 3-piece, a 5-piece, a 4-piece. There are so many different kinds of sets that you can pick. But I love these because they come in all different shapes and sizes. And so I have these in my pantry to keep my food fresh. I have them for my cereals. I have them for my pastas. I have them for dry goods. I have a whole shelf with my baked goods. So my flour, my different sugars, my yeast for when I make bread, which I haven't been doing quite as much, but I'd love to do it. So I have it in so many different sizes, but here is the hack, okay? I do not just have these in my kitchen. I have these all over my house because they are clear and kids actually really have fun with the tops. They're very easy to clean. And so you can use these all over the house. So you can use these for your office supplies. You can use these for art supplies. You can use these for beauty products. You can use them to separate emergency products. You can put medicine in here and stick them in a cabinet that locks. There are so many different ways to use these. And again, it's a product that for me is very aesthetically pleasing, but it's also clear. And I love that because when I open up my pantry or when I open up my linen closet or I open up my office supplies closet, it's there and I can see everything that's there. It's so easy for me to know exactly what's in each compartment. So that actually brings me to the next thing that I want to share with you, is that when you are using something like this or anything else for organizing, I like labels. I love labels, and I specifically want to share this. This is the Dymo label makers. Okay, did you see that list where it scrolled through your label, your kitchen, your closet, your pantry, and then it ended on life? Yeah, label it. So this is mine. I actually have 2 in my house because I love them so much. This is so embarrassing to admit. I shouldn't even admit this. I love them so much that I have one downstairs and I have one upstairs. So if I need it in a pinch, I can just go to it and label it. And during COVID, where I've had some extra time on my hands, I have been labeling like crazy everything in my house. So like now when you open up the linen closet, my kids give me such a hard time for this, but literally every bin is labeled with exactly what's in it. And then it's like there are bins behind it. And so for the bins behind it, I have labels on the shelves so I know what is there exactly. But look, it's made my life so much easier. So now when I need something, I'm not digging around looking for it under the sink in the kitchen and under the sink in my bathroom, and everything is in a proper place. And if you talk to professional organizers, that is not my area of expertise, okay? I am not a professional organizer. As much as I love to organize, that's not my business. But if you talk to professional organizers, I know that they will tell you that when things have a place to go, you can be organized and you can put things away. If something doesn't have a place, it sits out, it's on the counter, it's on the floor, it becomes chaotic and messy, and it creates chaos in your life. And that is, that it takes away from our ability to function well and happily and calmly and mindfully. So label, 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 label. I cannot say enough about how much I love my label maker. This is the Dymo Letra Tag handhold label maker, and it's so worthwhile having in your home. I cannot reinforce enough like how much this is just such a great tool. So that is the label maker. That is the label maker. Dun, da, da, da. And let's talk for a minute. So those are the things that help me with organization. So now let's talk about the things that, because I use them, they give me extra time, 100% extra time in my day, because I use these products when I am doing something that I have to do. It's an activity that has to get done, and it would maybe take me 10 minutes, and instead, because I use this product, it takes me 5 minutes, or maybe it takes me no minutes at all. And that is the very first thing that I want to share with you, which is the iRobot Roomba. But no, that's not the one I want.
Tested and reviewed.
Nope. See,
For 30 years
this is the one
now,
I want.
We've designed iRobot products with one consideration in mind: how they'll improve people's lives. That's 30 years of looking at specific problems and building the right solutions, so that robotics can look like this and effortless tech can sound like this. At iRobot, the technology used to find explosives and study oil spills has evolved to map your home and clean your floors. And our app backed by excellent customer service and the iRobot warranty. That's the iRobot difference.
Okay, so this product, and I have talked about this on every single show I have done now, and there is a reason why. Because, and it's not just the iRobot, by the way, there are other products that are like this. I happen to love the iRobot Roomba, but listen, folks, we all vacuum, right? I mean, especially now, like there is so much dust, and just from like everyone being in the house all the time, all day long, and just stuff on the floor, and whether it's from art projects gone awry or the kitchen, there's more cooking now. Who does not vacuum? This product, it saves me 100% of my time. What product does that? I no longer have to vacuum. This is like the best gift ever. So what would have maybe taken me, 20, 30 minutes, now, literally, that's like a gift of time, literally a gift of time. So when you're thinking about things that you can bring into your home, like, yes, that is a product that has a high price point. I'm not going to negate that. I'm not going to play down that fact. I understand that. There's a high price point on these vacuums that are electronic or smart vacuums, or they work on their own. But there's a reason why, because they offer such good value in your home. They give you time. What did we say before? Time is the one commodity that we all share in common that we cannot get more of. The only way you can get more of it is if you somehow figure out how to take time from one part of your day and put it to another part of your day. So now you can do that. This is a product that actually allows you to do that. And so I could not be happier to share that with you, because it is, it's so helpful. It's so, so helpful. Okay, so the next product that I want to share with you is similar in that let's see, I just got stuck on a page here. And when I go to refresh, it's not going where I want it to be going. So let's try this. I know I'm not follow Sway. Okay, wait. I am gonna, this is
Not in Amazon, in the browser.
yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Okay. See, this is the beauty of live TV. You're just coming on this journey with me.
What is that?
No, it's,
In the browser. Scroll up to the top.
yeah.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I got it. It's the technology piece of this that trips me up every time. And this, if you've been with me on previous shows, you've seen that I brought my younger daughter, Bree, on. And aside from, it's so much fun when she comes on. She's not on with me today. As you can see, the couch is empty. But she'll come back. But one of the things that's amazing about having her here is she handles all of this, because she's the tech savvy one in the family. But I like to let my daughters do this piece. So anyways, okay, but I figured it out. We're back. Okay, so this is the next thing that I want to show you that also is time saving for those of you that do a lot of cooking. The Instapot, right? Like, this is an amazing item that you can have in your kitchen, and you can stick your food in there and you can walk away from it and come back and you have your meal prepped for you. So again, I am looking for items to have in my home that give me time, because if they give me time in the organizing and the cleaning and the parent hacking area of my life, then that gives me time in the self-care piece of my life, where I get to give myself that extra time to read on my Kindle. I get to have an extra glass of wine maybe. I get to go for a walk or a bike ride with my kids. That would be self-care with them. Or maybe I take a bath or a nap, but doing things that fill me up. And so if I can stick food in the Instapot and walk away from it, I mean, come on. Okay, so that's the Instapot. So amazing tool for the kitchen. I think, like, again, I'm a huge believer, and if you can find something that helps give you time in the kitchen. And so the other thing that I want to share with you, I hope it's in this list. I'm going to be able to find it. This is another kitchen item if I can find it, although it's not, I don't see it. Is this it? No. Let's see. Yes. Yes, the air fryer. Who doesn't love fried food? Now you can do it in a healthy way and fast, very, very fast. Okay, are you hungry? I am now hungry and thinking about what I'm going to make for dinner. Chili. I think I'll make chili for dinner. Turkey chili. I think that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. In bread bowls. Ooh, that'll be good. Okay, so this air fryer is just one more thing. It's another kitchen hack you can have in your kitchen, right? So this right now, again, if you're just joining us, I'm Marissa Gold with The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live. I'm so excited that you're spending some time with me. We're talking all about self-care today. And in the first segment, we talked about all the things that we can do for ourselves to give back to ourselves. In this segment, we're talking kind of like the parenting hacks and cleaning hacks and organization hacks around the home to give you more time back in your day so that you can put that time towards either your kids or really towards some self-care. Because I get this question all the time from parents where they say to me, yeah, you're giving me great ideas, but I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I cannot find 15 minutes. Well, let me ask you something. If you were going to make French fries for your dinner tonight and you were going to cut them up and stick them in oil and stick them in a pan and fry them up and have to stand over that pan, that would have taken you what, 10, 15 minutes? Well, if you have the air fryer, you pour some oil on it and you put them in the little the dish thing that goes into the air fryer and you stick it in there and you walk away. You have your 15 minutes. Go take that time and go take yourself to the bathroom, close the door with a book, with a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, whatever it is, sit on the floor, bring a beanbag into the bathroom, do whatever you want. You don't even have to be in there to go to the bathroom, but go give yourself some time. And when you use these products, you can do that. So I really want to encourage you. So those are the kitchen hacks and some cleaning hacks that I wanted to share. And there was one more that I wanted to share. This is not a kitchen hack. This is, I could have put this in the self-beauty portion and like the taking care of myself, but I don't really consider this, I don't know, maybe I should consider this taking care of myself. But okay, you guys, you see this hair, right? This is some thick hair I've got. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm going to admit to something. This is so embarrassing that I used to go once a week to get my hair blown out because if I did it myself, it would take me 2 hours. I'm not exaggerating, 2 hours to blow out my hair. And to the point where I hated it, I would get hot and sweaty and my muscles would hurt from literally just blowing out my hair. And afterwards I'd have to get back in the shower. It was such a long process. It was crazy. And then I got this. This is called the Revlon One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer.
Looking for salon-worthy blowouts? Try the One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer to dry and add body. The unique oval design is perfect for extra lift at the roots and smooth curled ends in up to half the time. One-step styling and gorgeous results. Style confidently.
Okay, the results I get are ridiculous. They're crazy. I've never gotten results like this with any other product, and I have tested so many. I've had a lot of people tell me I could be a hair model with the amount of hair that I have, and I've had like, I've thought to myself like, well, in another lifetime, I could literally go to companies that make products for hair and be like, listen, if it works on my hair, anyone's gonna love it, because legit, this is really thick, wavy, coarse hair. And if I love a product, I'm telling you, it is so worthwhile. I cannot speak more love to this product than just go out and buy it. It is so worth it. It's not even that expensive. You will get your money back in spades. So as I was saying when I first started having this conversation, and I was admitting that I used to get my hair blown out once a week, but you know, part of that was self-care, in that the hour that I sat to get it blown out, I would read on my Kindle, and so that I would consider that my time, and I really did look forward to that. But with COVID, this falls into the category of what are things we used to do that we can't do anymore. I have not been able to get my hair blown out. I've gone actually one time because there was a window in the late summer here in Los Angeles where the salons were allowed to open up. And I went to get my hair blown out, and it was great. I'm not gonna lie. I sat there, I loved it, I enjoyed it, I appreciated the time to myself. It was really fun to see the woman that blows out my hair. It had been a long time, it was social. But you know, we had our masks on, it was a little uncomfortable. It wasn't the same experience it used to be. And so now I have this. I have the Revlon One Step hair dryer. It doesn't get better. It works so incredibly well. So if you are interested in this product or any of the other products that you're seeing that I'm talking about here, remember to shop the show, check out the products. If you love them, I would love to hear about it. Tell me what you love. Tell me why you love it. We can have it, you know, we can chat, and I would love to hear what other people think about some of the products that I'm discussing today. And by the way, if you have other products that are invaluable for yourselves and your families, that are time hacks or for organizing or for self-care, I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you do in your homes and things that you've incorporated into your routines that have really helped you, because that's what this show is really all about. Like, at the end of the day, yes, I want to sell these items. Yes, I want you to like the things that we're talking about. Yes, I want you to get information from me. But really what I want to build here is a community where people, you know, we can talk about the things that work for us, and we can talk about what we like and what we don't like even, and what works for us and helps us make our lives easier. Because anything you can do to make your life easier, given everything else that's going on, and just being a parent on a good day, we should be doing that, right? So that was the last like home hack that I wanted to share with you. Wait, is this the, let's see really quickly if this is, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay. So the last segment of this show, what I want to share with you is how do we model and teach self-care to our children? What do we do? And why do we do this? Why is it important in the first place, right? So think about if someone tells you to do something. If someone says, oh, you should do X, you may potentially do it, but unless you legitimately, genuinely believe in the quality and the reason behind why you would do X, you're not going to go out of your way to do it. You're not going to really care that much about doing it. You're certainly not going to spend time doing it. And so the way that I look at self-care for myself is that in order for me to actually get it, I have to have buy-in from my kids that I deserve it. And if my children believe I deserve that time, whether it's taking a bath or taking a nap or going and spending 15 minutes and reading my Kindle or going for a walk by myself or going to listen to music, whatever it is I'm doing for self-care, if my children believe that it's important, they're gonna be okay with me taking it and having it. And they're not gonna hound me during the time when I'm actually needing it or actively engaging in self-care. And so what I have found the best way for them to get there, to get to that place where they buy into it and agree that I should have it, is that they also want it and that they also need it, and then to teach them how to do it for themselves. And so that component, this is the third segment of this show, which is teaching the importance of self-care to our children, the reasons why we take self-care, and then modeling the self-care and actually helping our kids do it so they get to the point where they will start to do it on their own. So you will have kids that will say to you, you know what, I need like 20 minutes to just go chill. And they'll go sit on their beds and listen to music, or if they're younger, they'll say, I need what I call it solo playtime, where they're gonna go do a puzzle by themselves. I can't tell you how many parents will say to me, my 5-year-old child just does not ever play by herself. I feel like I'm constantly entertaining her. And one of the things that we as parents need to teach our children from a really young age is how to be able to self-entertain. And because of technology and the way that kids are being raised today, they have a very short attention span and they have an addiction to technology. And so we as parents, what we can do is teach our children how to self-entertain and how to take care of themselves in ways that are not tied to technology. And that is so important for brain growth. It's important for understanding their emotions and being calm and being mindful. So let's talk about a few of the things that I love to do with kids, to show them how to do, to even do it with them, and then to send them on their way out into the world and to let them do it on their own. So the first thing I want to just reiterate is, if you have kids that are reading, Kindle, I cannot say it enough, Kindle. You don't want to hear me sing, I know, sorry, I'm not going to sing. That's definitely not an area I excel in. Okay, so let's talk about, this is a book. It is called Sitting Still Like a Frog. This is the book. There you go, you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. This book introduces the basics of mindfulness to children in an easy to understand and playful way. Okay? It's going to guide them through exercises and through readings and meditations to start to cultivate a presence of mind, a presence of heart, and a presence of the body. And this is something that we're all capable of. Most of us don't even think about this until we're adults, let alone kids. And so if you can start to talk about these concepts with your children, with young children, as young as like 6 or even 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, then you will end up having children that are in their teens and 20s who have a really strong sense of self and ability to self-soothe. And they will develop their own set of tools and strategies where they will know how to do this. And that is such an important skill that you can give your child. And this is a book that I just love that really introduces so much of this to our kids. And it comes with a CD, DVD, sorry, not a, no, it is actually a CD, it is, sorry, I apologize. It's been a while since I've listened to it, because I like to read, so I've done the readings, you know, with families that I work with, and I've done some of these with my kids. And then once you've done them and you've learned them, then you don't even need the book, you can just do them. It's like, you know, there's meditations, there's visualizations, and there are so many things that you can purposefully put into your routine with your children to help them with being mindful and calm, and to practice gratitude during their day. And that is the next thing that I want to share with you, is this idea of gratitude that there's actually two things that I want to share here. So something for parents and also for kids. The first is for parents, and this is Michelle Obama's Becoming, her guided journal for discovering your own voice. I have this journal, I love it, I write in it. It's a guided journal, and so it asks questions, and it allows you to answer those questions, and so it helps you with your writing if you're not exactly sure. Some people can just kind of do a complete brain dump on an empty page and they're really good at it, and other people need prompts, and either one is okay. There's no right or wrong way to be a writer. However you get your thoughts out and onto paper. And when we do that, it actually helps us to really think about our what's going on inside our brain, and it helps us to really think through what's going on inside our brain. So this is the adult version of what I love as far as really helping us to be mindful and present and in the moment, and to be thinking about gratitude. And then this is the journal for kids, and this one is really geared towards younger kids. This is a 3-minute gratitude journal for young children. But it's set up in such a way where kids can fill in there's like fill in the blanks, and it talks about very specific activities that kids can write about. And science tells us, there's a lot of research behind when we practice gratitude, it fills us up in a way emotionally that we only get when we are practicing gratitude, and when we understand what we're giving back into the universe and not just taking from the universe. So this is a skill to talk to your kids about what they're thankful for and how they can give back into the universe, and then to actually write it down, because when we write things down, we remember them and we hold on to them, and they stay with us. They stay in the memory part of our brain, and that's so important. So those are the two journals that I really like for practicing mindfulness. And you can do, one of the things that I like to do in my home is I like to have either quiet reading time or quiet writing time. And what we do in those moments are we will sit in the same room. So me and my 2 girls, we sit in the same room, either in the downstairs den on the couch, or we pick a bedroom, and we are all in the same space, but we're quiet and we're engaging in our own activity, whether it's reading or writing. And often, or almost always, I'm reading, and they kind of fluctuate. They go back and forth. Sometimes they're reading for school even, sometimes it's a free reading book, sometimes they're writing, and sometimes they are even coloring. And coloring, books like these, how many of you have seen these types of books where I have this right here? This one is called Pattern Landscapes. And if I flip through it, you'll see. So it's got like all of these beautiful patterns, and every page is like that. This one is brand new. So you can see there's so many. And then what you can do is you get these like fine tip markers, something like this, right? And there are so many out there in the marketplace, and on Amazon, there are so many different types of markers like this. But what you want, the key here are this super tips or fine tips, because these coloring books have the patterns are, if you can see, let's see, I don't know. Yeah, perfect. So you can see how small the designs are. And look at how beautiful that is. And imagine if you're coloring. So this is what I love about this activity. This is an activity that keeps you in the moment. It keeps you calm. It keeps you're doing something creative. So you're jogging a different part of your brain than when you're doing math or other academics, right? And so this is an activity, like I said, we do we do solo reading or solo writing time. And it is quiet, and we get in the room together and we do something, and sometimes my girls will color. And I do this also sometimes, although not as much as they do, but I love coloring. I think it's relaxing. And one of the other things we've talked about on this show, which I wasn't actually gonna bring up today, but I will because I just love it so much, are these diamond painting kits. I wish they had a video for these. I don't know why they don't. They should have a video to explain. So you get a kit, it looks like this, and it comes with every single thing you need. And on Amazon, there are so many different patterns to choose from, like hundreds of different patterns at different skill levels. And then you can sit, and it's, again, a very mindful, present, focused, quiet, calming activity that you can do by yourself. And before you know it, you've created a beautiful piece of art. So that's another. So these are all things that to help my children understand how important having that quiet time is for self-entertainment. That is practicing self-care, because the constant go, go, go of our life, the constant go, go, go of social media, the constant go, go, go of school, of extracurricular activities, of balancing work and home and everything that we have going on in our days, we need to find ways to calm down. We need to find ways to slow down. Now, COVID has forced that upon us, and that is probably one of the only positive things that has come out of COVID, right? But in the long run, COVID's not going to be here forever, thank God. And so we need to figure out ways that we can retain this sense of slowing down that we have all kind of entered into and are in right now. Just yesterday, my older daughter, my 15-year-old, said to me, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we go back to school and I go to my activities and I've got tennis and I have dance and I have, all these things and singing and all these things that I want to do on top of school, and I think that there's some real anxiety around that for kids and for adults alike. And so I think that it's important to put into place now, how do we practice self-care? How do we slow down? How do we remain mindful? What do we do now that we can keep in place when we do go back to normal 2.0? Because it's coming, the vaccine is here, yay! So normal 2.0 is coming, right? What is it going to look like? Well, we need to figure out ways to retain some of this sense of quietness, calm that we now have in our lives, and that is actually so important and so good for us. And so that is one of the things. These are some of the things that my kids are doing that I do with them, and then they do it on their own. And so that's, for them, that's practicing self-care. The other thing that they do, and I'm going to reiterate it again, that we talked about in the first segment is, and honestly, if you have tweens or teens, you can probably so relate to this. And I would love it if you could reach out on the chat and tell me about it. But candles, right? So again, elevating certain senses, taking them up a notch from just kind of like going through the day passively, but elevating the sense of smell and the sense of sound. And teens love candles and scent-oriented types of product. And so that is an area, whether you're using a diffuser like we talked about in the first segment of this show, right? Where I showed this and I did the LAFCO oils, or even, these types of the facial sprays again, right? I know my girls love these as well. In fact, I took this one from their bathroom. I use this one all the time. They like this one. I brought them both to show you. And then music, like my girls, if you walk into their room at any given time, day or night, there is a candle going and there is music on. And so they each have a speaker. One of them has this speaker. The other one has the Amazon Echo, which is another product that I love. And yeah, there's music going because what they're doing is they're elevating those senses to actually self-soothe. They're things that calm them down, and they know that. They've learned that over time. And so for them, that is self-care. And that is so important to me. So again, if you're just joining us, we're getting close to the end here, but if you're just joining us, my name is Marissa Gold. I'm with The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live. It is Friday, our weekly show. We're heading into the weekend, and I think, let's see, so I just want to close today's show with this idea of, people always say to me, and I've said this now a couple times within the show today, that I have parents say to me all the time, I hear you, I want to give back to myself, I want to practice self-care, I really do, but I just, now's not the time. My kids are little, or my kids need me, or I have to work, or I have different things I have to do. And what I will tell you from experience, what I absolutely can speak the truth to, is that when you practice self-care, everything else in your life is elevated and gets better. And the reason for that is because, as we talked about before, that internal gas tank is filled up. And so you have energy that you can put out into the world. And when you put that energy out into the world, it changes the way that it's positive energy. So it changes the way you interact with the world. So whether we're talking at work, your significant other, your best friend, your family members, your kids, most importantly, it affects your interactions with them. It affects your experiences with them. And what is more important than the experiences we're sharing with the people in our lives? If we have learned anything from COVID and from this year and from what's happened in politics and social movements around the world, if we have learned anything, it is that how we connect with people and interact with people is so vitally important. And we can actually do something about those interactions. We can elevate them to be positive interactions, to be calm, to be good, to be kind with each other. But we can only do that if it comes from within a place of being kind to ourselves and having that filled up energy tank to put that positive energy back into the world. So I'm going to end today and welcome you into the weekend and say, be kind to yourselves, be kind to your kids and your family, take some time for self-care, introduce self-care to your kids. It's so important. Bring some of those tools into the home that we talked about today to give you more time in your day and your nights. Shop the carousel on the show because there's some great things that we talked about. Things, products that I love, that I stand by, that will make a difference in your life. And thank you for joining me, Marissa Gold, with The Art of Parenting on Sway TV, on Amazon Live. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.
Make sure you guys follow Sway TV. Follow Sway right here. Ooh, it's this way, sorry. Corey says, thank you, Sway TV. Shakira says, thank you, Sway. Yes, guys, it is so much fun. We love Sway TV.
So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV. We'll see you soon. Until then, let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's play.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Yeah. I mean, this morning, how many did they have this morning? Like the stuff that you're doing, like this. Oh, they're not.